good, YouTube? So, one of the things that I always wanted to do with my brand before I get started, just here you go. So yeah, so one of the things that I wanted to do with my clothing brand, as I said, I want to be transparent and everything, just my brand and everything. So as you know, when you're building a clothing brand, you get your samples. Your samples aren't always going to come out good. Shirts, obviously, when I made my first few shirts, my shirts I made them myself. So I had ordered them from Jiffy, and they had arrived, and I got my heat press, everything. As you can see, my heat press back here. I don't know if you can see it. So right there's my heat press, and that's my heat press. That was the first ever heat press when I made my first ever shirts, and my cricket and everything were, I designed my first few shirts. They're one of the best. Some came out crooked. So I had ordered like 50 and 10 came out wrong. So I had a lot of them in the shelf, just kind of there laying around and everything. And I decided to, you know what, I'm gonna donate some of them. So, but I wanted to keep 2 of them and put it here in the box like I have in front of me. So this is one of the first shirts. I don't know if you can see, it was a little bit crooked. So the Boffo was a little bit crooked. Here is the center, and this was the shirt. So the Boffo had to come out a little crooked, the front. But this is one of the shirts, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna save it. I wanted to save it and kind of keep it, as a trajectory to see the journey of Boffo. One day I'll be looking through here, and I'll be like, man, I remember making the shirts. So another shirt. So for these shirts, I remember I spent around 16 hours making 50 of them, and 10 of them came out not that good, but I had sold out, which was like the first taste of success. And I then didn't drop any clothes for another year until barely I dropped my sweats and hoodies. I didn't drop any clothes for a year, and the reason was because I was trying to build a system. I was trying to get the hang of it, just kind of understand more. I feel like that had its pros and cons, because I invested a lot of money, and didn't see any money. And pros because like now when I've dropped, it looks really authentic. Like the website, everything, from everything looks really, really good. These were some shorts that didn't come out too good. It was a little too short, and I wasn't really a big fan of them. Didn't really like them. Like I said, I like saving them just as a reminder. This was another shirt. Yeah, I had a concept. There was nothing like my tech pack. And again, all these samples, like samples are around $100 plus dollars. As you have like a good connection with the manufacturer, it's very rare that you can get something really cheap. But this is another shirt. This shirt is supposed to be like a crop tee in a form, in a way, and it didn't come out so good. But like I said, I want to save them. I do plan on making this shirt later on with a different manufacturer, but I decided, winter's coming up, gotta step up. This is the same shirt in a different color, and again, these samples weren't being too good, and that's pretty much. And then I wanted to save here just to kind of have it as a reminder to myself, like, of the trajectory of my brand and where I went, from the start to the end, pretty much. Hopefully we're gonna grow. And then just looking at my first business cards as well. I made my first business cards as well. Everything was handmade. My first, my bags were handmade. Some of them were getting burned on my heat press. The reason why one of the mat is kind of ruined, so I can kind of bring up the mat right here. This is why the mat is like this, because when I was making my first bags, they came out crooked, and I remember doing that, and it was not fun. It was not pretty. So then when it comes to my business cards, these are business cards. So these were the first ever business cards of Boffo. So a little bit. Not too bad, not too bad. I forgot I can zoom in through here. So these are the first business cards. Let's just keep it back normal. I just got the camera, so I'm trying to learn how to use it and everything. And yeah, they were not too good. This one right here as well was a little bit crooked. So just kind of reminding myself of that. I feel like it's amazing. Everything in there. Then when you see an updated one, you can kind of see way better. Like everything is just way better. And I was just being cheap for my first. Still a lot of improvement to do, but extremely better. Then we got these. These are the ones that I pretty much get the most sales from, most sessions. And yeah, the brand isn't too bad. It's getting there. Another one of my samples that I did is this one right here. So this was another one of my hoodies. It really didn't come out too good, like I said. It wasn't too bad. But that was one of my early samples. But then now I keep showing all the bad samples. So I guess we can show one of the good, like the hoodies, huh? So this is the hoodie, like I had said, that came out. So this is the hoodie. It actually came out good alongside the sweats. I love my sweats, by the way. But yeah, this is the hoodie that I had gotten. Not too bad, not too bad. You got the logo right here. Logo here. And then obviously, as you can see here, I have all of my book order for everything. But yeah, man, as a brand, we've grown a lot. Like, it's been one of the most beautiful journeys. Seeing from where the brand was at to where we at, to have, you know, the shelf back here filled with clothes, I think is a blessing. You know, my roller machine, you know, behind the camera, order some new desk, new everything. But Boffo is growing. I think it's very beautiful to see the trajectory of, you know, what was once just a thought in my head. But yeah, I want to keep adding to this box. Everything that doesn't come out too good, keep adding it here. Obviously, eventually save one of these sweats, throw them here, just as a reminder of the brand and everything. And I'll just be adding to here, man, just seeing everything that was once something that I made myself. But that's pretty much it for this video. We'll keep growing through Boffo. And yeah, man, just remember, Boffo is always the way.